welcome. You're watching Express News with me, Munmun Paracharya. Let's get started. President Draupadi Murmu is on a 3-day visit to Gujarat from Friday. President performed darshan and puja at the Somnath temple and paid floral tributes at the statue of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel near the temple. President Murmu will grace the 71st convocation ceremony of the Gujarat Vidyapeeth at Ahmedabad on Saturday. India's External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar held bilateral talks with his Afghan counterpart Amir Khan Muttaqi at Hyderabad House in New Delhi. The External Affairs Minister warmly welcomed his Afghan counterpart and emphasized India's strong commitment to Afghanistan's sovereignty, territorial integrity and independence. India handed over 5 ambulances to Foreign Minister of Afghanistan Muttaqi in Delhi on Friday as part of 20 ambulance donation and medical aid package demonstrating India's continued commitment to supporting the Afghan people. As announced by External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar during talks with his Afghan counterpart Muttaqi on Friday, India has upgraded its technical mission in Kabul to a full embassy now. India Mobile Congress 2025's third day at Yashobhoomi featured Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology Secretary S. Krishnan, who urged AI adoption over fear at the India AI session. India Mobile Congress 2025 themed AI for All runs till October 11th at Yashobhoomi in Delhi, showcasing telecom and edtech startups. Global leaders discuss scalable AI solutions for a Viksit Bharat or developed India. In an update, PM Narendra Modi will launch the PM Dhan Dhanya Krishi Yojana and Mission for Atmanirbharta in pulses on Saturday in Delhi, targeting 1.7 crore farmers via 100 districts. Kerala Chief Minister Pinarayi Vijayan met Prime Minister Narendra Modi in Delhi on Friday, discussing Wayanad aid, aims and state development. He had earlier met Home Minister Amit Shah as well. Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi has launched the Panorama version 3.0, an in-house weather app for Indian Navy platforms. The app provides real-time forecasts for sea operations at zero cost. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh addressed Indian community in Australia's Sydney on Friday, hailing India as the world's 4th largest, fastest growing economy. Earlier, he also co-chaired the Defence Industry Roundtable with Australia's Assistant Minister of Defence, Peter Khalil. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh also visited BAP's Swaminarayan Temple in Sydney, offering prayers and lighting lamps. He also met Australian FM Penny Wong and honoured war heroes in Canberra to boost ties. Defence Minister began the day with a visit to the HMAS Katabul in Sydney, a key Royal Australian Navy base at Potts Point, and undertook a water tour of Fleet Base East. India will host the United Nations Troop Contributing Countries Chiefs Conclave from 14th to 16th October in New Delhi. Over 30 military chiefs will deliberate on peacekeeping challenges and best practices. US Ambassador to India Sergio Gore and Deputy Secretary for Management and Resources Michael J. Regas are in India till the 14th of October. US Ambassador Gore and Deputy Secretary Regas will meet Indian government counterparts to discuss a wide range of bilateral issues. Bengaluru hosted the MSME Marketing Conclave 2025 on Friday, focusing on digital linkages. Minister Shobha Karandlaje inaugurated the event, emphasizing MSME's 40% GDP role, skill development and government support via team initiative. Niti Tax Policy Working Paper Series 2 report titled Towards India's Tax Transformation, Decriminalization and Trust-Based Governance was released by Niti Aayog's Consultative Group on Tax Policy on Friday in New Delhi. Niti Aayog's CEO BVR Subramaniam said recent legislative changes, particularly the Income Tax Act, indicate a major push towards these very goals. In business, the BSE Sensex closed at 82,500 points on Friday, up 328.72 points from the previous session, while Nifty was up 103.55 points to close at 25,285.35. The Indian rupee rose 9 paise to close at 88.7 against the US dollar on Friday. The West Texas Intermediate crude fell 0.4% to $61.27 per barrel on Friday. Brent was at $65.22. Gold prices rose to $3,985.37 per ounce on Friday, up 0.26%, driven by a weaker dollar and geopolitical tensions after hitting $4,014.60 per ounce earlier this week. Spot silver fell 0.17% to $49.25 per ounce on Friday, driven by industrial demand and renewables and semiconductors amid tight supplies. Asian equities staggered into the weekend on Friday. Following a mixed week, Asian equities fell amid tech bubble worries after AI-fueled surges. S&P 500 futures rose 0.2% in Asian trade, while South Korean markets were an outlier, with the Kospi rallying about 1.5% to a record high of 3,617.86 points. European stocks were mixed on Friday, with FTSE down 0.1% at 9,497, CAC up 0.2% and DAX flat. The United States on Friday denied any delivery of the advanced medium-range air-to-air missiles to Pakistan. This is contrary to what was reported by multiple media outlets on Tuesday. In a statement, the US Embassy in India said that the new contract with Pakistan is meant for certain sustainment items and does not include any new deliveries of the said missiles, debunking media reports as false. The statement said that on September 30 this year, the Department of War released a list of standard contract announcements which referred to an amendment to an existing foreign military sales contract for sustainment and spares for several countries, including Pakistan. The US Embassy's statement appeared to directly counter the claims, stressing that the contract is purely intended to support existing systems rather than enhance them. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said on Friday that the government had approved the framework of a hostage release deal with Hamas. Israel said all parties had signed the first phase of a ceasefire agreement, adding that Hamas freeing the captives would bring the end to this war. Meanwhile, Israel's Justice Ministry published on Friday a list of 250 prisoners expected to be released in exchange for hostages still held in Gaza as part of a ceasefire deal with Hamas. Meanwhile, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, in his address to the nation, warned that the forces will remain in Gaza until specific conditions are met. The United States has imposed sanctions on about 100 individuals, entities and vessels, including a Chinese independent refinery and terminal that helped Iran's oil and petrochemicals trade. Meanwhile, China said on Friday it would impose a special port fees on ships operated by and built in the United States. The incremental fees will be collected at Chinese ports from the 14th of October. US President Donald Trump and Finnish President Alexander Stubb signed an agreement for the US Coast Guard to acquire up to 11 icebreaker ships to strengthen Arctic security. Peru's Congress leader Jose Herry has assumed the South American country's presidency on Friday after lawmakers voted to remove President Dina Boluarte. Peru's Congress impeached Dina Boluarte by an overwhelming majority of 118 out of 122 votes. French President Emmanuel Macron on Friday met political party heads to search for a new prime minister. French President Macron's office said he will announce a new prime minister within 48 hours after outgoing Prime Minister Sébastien Lecornu failed to get results after 2 days of talks to come out of the existing political deadlock. Australia's Queensland state government said on Friday it would run coal power plants at least into the 2040s, reversing a previous plan to pivot rapidly to renewables and in turn making national emissions reduction targets harder to achieve. South Korea indicted Unification Church leader Han Hak-ja over the charges of bribing former First Lady Kim Kyon-hee for favors for the church's business interests. Sri Lanka's main opposition party, the Samagi Jana Balawegaya, has decided to launch a joint political program with the United National Party. Sri Lankan Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya announced the establishment of the National Women's Commission, bringing the island's existing independent commissions to 10 in all. Six people have been reported dead after a powerful 7.4 magnitude earthquake hit southern Philippines on Friday, prompting immediate evacuation. A powerful 6.9 magnitude aftershock jolted quake hit southern Philippines late on Friday, triggering a fresh tsunami alert just hours after an earlier warning, according to authorities. We are heading for a short break on Express News. Stay tuned to DD India.
Construction isn't just about steel and concrete. It can also be about restoring a hillside or creating homes that can protect both us and our planet.
This wattle and daub technique is called skin and bone of a structure. So here we have used bamboos cut into strips and weaved together as made as a panel. In that cap we fill it with mud and make it as a skin for it.
The trucks would just come by, dump the illegal waste and leave. Then we got some people to help and our Anand Van urban forest team came into existence. Together we must have cleared about 30 to 40 tons of garbage out of this place.
One of the reasons for this structure that we have created here is to try and see if we can halt or reduce the rate of erosion. This is like a natural embankment for the forest land.
Welcome back. I'm Munmun Bhattacharya. You're watching Express News on DD India. Let's resume. The aftershock in Philippines has forced authorities to issue a fresh tsunami warning, prompting immediate evacuation of the coastal residents. Power was disrupted in Philippines' Mati city in the latest aftershock that came within 10 hours of the previous quake. The government of Nepal has declared Elam district in Koshi province a disaster crisis zone on Friday after deadly floods and landslides. Vietnam's zero-cost rescue team evacuated over 100 people from affected regions on Friday in coordination with the residents' local administration. Hanoi's local administration deployed officials to rescue people in flood-affected villages after rising floodwaters from the Ku River have impacted the region. Flooding continues in Ayutthaya with 46,709 homes across 11 districts of the central province of Thailand remaining submerged. Thailand's Department of Disaster Prevention and Mitigation has reported floods in 18 provinces affecting 108,534 households and resulting in 19 fatalities so far. Typhoon Matmo has caused widespread damage, bringing floods and landslides in various regions in China. Heavy rains and floods triggered by the typhoon have disrupted daily life in the country. The International Union for Conservation of Nature has announced Arctic seals as endangered species at its World Conservation Congress in Abu Dhabi. The IUCN statement states that 11.5% of the 11,185 bird species assessed are globally threatened. Venezuelan politician Maria Corina Machado wins 2025 Nobel Peace Prize. The Norwegian Nobel Committee has decided to award Machado for her tireless work promoting democratic rights for the people of Venezuela. Married women across India and around the world are observing Karwa Chauth today, a festival that celebrates love, devotion and the sacred bond of marriage. October 10th is observed as World Mental Health Day. The day aims to promote global awareness, education and advocacy to combat social stigma surrounding mental health issues. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hailed all those working in the field of mental health and helping others heal and find happiness. PM Modi said mental health is a fundamental part of our overall well-being. In South Africa, 92-year-old Katrina Esau, the last fluent speaker of Nu, an ancient language of South Africa's indigenous San people, continues to preserve it by educating locals despite little government support. The cruise season in Panama has begun as Queen Elizabeth cruise ship sailed through the canal from the Pacific carrying tourists to the Caribbean. New York City Comic Con began on Thursday at Manhattan's Jacob Javits Center, drawing crowds of costumed fans. The 4-day event, running through October 12, is expected to see around 250,000 attendees. The third edition of the International Purple Festival has begun in Panji, Goa, celebrating inclusivity and empowerment of persons with disabilities. Argentine paleontologists have discovered rare dinosaur fossils in southern Argentina's Rio Negro province. The fossils were discovered during a live-streamed field campaign. The paleontologists' team found a sauropod femur and a duck-billed dinosaur's scapula at a 70-million-year-old site known for rich prehistoric remains. Chocolate prices are expected to rise in the US this Halloween as global cocoa costs have more than doubled since early 2024. In South Sudan, artists from the Baobab Art Center paints mural to honor country's founding leader John Garang. The mural painting features Garang in both military fatigues and civilian attire, capturing the duality of a man who led in war and in peace. In Mongolia's Ulaanbaatar, semi-coke briquettes, which emit 50% less carbon dioxide than coal briquettes, went on sale. The briquette is believed to have the potential to reduce air pollution in Ulaanbaatar by 20 to 50%. China's largest toll station in Anhui province saw miles of vehicles lined up in a massive traffic surge as thousands of travelers made their way home after the 8-day National Day and Mid-Autumn Festival break. English rock band Def Leppard received a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame, honoring their 50-year legacy and 110 million albums sold. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were honoured with the Humanitarians of the Year award at Project Healthy Minds annual gala in New York. Actor Tom Holland has resumed shooting for Spider-Man Brand New Day after a 2-week break due to an onset injury. Warner Brothers and Legendary have announced Minecraft 2, the sequel to a Minecraft movie set to release in theatres on the 23rd of July 2027. The latest episode of the OTT series Songline is taking a deep dive into English singer-songwriter Ed Sheeran's latest album, Play. Oscar-winning director Edward Berger praised Colin Farrell at the London premiere of the new film Ballad of a Small Player. The AI reimagined Mahabharat series produced by Collective Media Network will premiere exclusively on Waves OTT on October 25, 2025, available to viewers throughout India and around the world. The AI reimagined Mahabharat series produced by Collective Media Network will also air on Doordarshan every Sunday at 11 in the morning, starting 2nd of November. Kantara Chapter 1, directed by and starring Kannada actor Rishabh Shetty, has grossed 330 crore rupees by day 8 at the box office. Professional bodybuilder and actor Varinder Singh Ghuman passed away on Thursday. Ghuman had featured with Bollywood actor Salman Khan in the film Tiger 3, among many other Hindi films. In sports, opener Yashasvi Jaiswal smashed a stunning century as India finished at 318 for 2 on day 1 against hapless West Indies in the second test at Arun Jaitley Stadium in New Delhi. Australia coach Andrew McDonald conceded that captain Pat Cummins was running out of time to fit for the first Ashes test next month, but said he had not yet been ruled out. Star India batter Smriti Mandhana has set a new world record for the most runs scored by a women's cricketer in ODIs in a single calendar year. Nadine de Klerk powered South Africa to a 3-wicket win against India in the Women's Cricket World Cup in Visakhapatnam. India's top order did not take responsibility against South Africa, captain Harmanpreet Kaur said after her side lost by 3 wickets. Spain defender Dean Housen has been ruled out of their upcoming 2026 World Cup qualifiers against Georgia and Bulgaria due to a muscle injury. India's Dhruv Kapila and Tanisha Krasto marched into the quarterfinals of the Arctic Open badminton tournament. In women's singles, Anmol Kharb beat Chinese Taipei's Su Wenqi to set up a quarter-final clash against Andrew Schultz. Mohammad Amoura scored twice as Algeria beat Somalia 3-0 to become the 4th qualifiers for the 2026 World Cup from Africa after Morocco, Tunisia and Egypt. India scored in the last minute to earn a 1-all draw against Singapore in their third Group C match of the 2027 Asian Cup qualifiers in Kalang. Fourth seed Novak Djokovic looked far from his best but dispatched Belgium's Zuzu Bergs to set up a Shanghai Masters semi-final clash against Valentin Vacherit. World number 204 Vacherit pulled off a huge upset, stunning Holger Rune to become the second lowest ranked player ever to reach an ATP Masters semi-final. Belgium host North Macedonia in Ghent with the opportunity to leapfrog their visitors and take top spot in their qualifying group for the 2026 World Cup. Inter Miami head into a critical Major League Soccer matchup against Atlanta United on Saturday night at Fort Lauderdale. And Sam Kerr is set to be Australia's squad for the first time since 2023 for friendly matches against England and Wales later this month. That's it in this edition of Express News. Thanks for watching.